Do you feel like you were gone before your time? Like, did you not want to leave?
Well, the funny part about that is, and I just told Joe this on her podcast, but I quit season 3, the end of season, no, yes, the end of season, my third season, which would have
Fine.
been 7. I quit it on the end of 7 after the whole Cabo or Cancun Cabo trip or whatever it was, where they all, beat me up at the dinner table. I then quit that season, and they called me a couple months later begging me back right before they were filming. I, had to do a lot of soul searching and a lot of thinking about it, but I decided to go back. And so then season 4, I felt like was or my 4th season, which would be season 8, I thought was a really great season. I'm like, okay, I can do this again. So then I was ready to stay, and then they let me go. So it was like, okay, quit, I'm back, then I'm fired.
The last season was probably like that just because you really did quit at that point. So you're kind of like, I already quit. I wasn't going to come back, so I have nothing to lose now.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, once I started filming and they were actually portraying me in kind of a nice way, and I just felt like I was getting redeemed a little bit, and like, okay, it's not so nasty after all. And then they fired me. So I just think I think it's, the whole thing's a funny little circle.
Well, like, thank you, Alexis. Applaud for saying that you were fired because David Yontef, had been fired from many jobs. I don't know why
Half
no
the
one.
housewives that say that they walked away are lying. The show did not sign them back up again. It's just Bravo's really nice about not throwing them under the bus. You know what I mean? Like, I guess because they want to, they want us to be successful, but I just don't have a problem like admitting the truth, like about what I don't. That's why I think it's funny when people call me phony, because I'm like, I was always talking about my surgeries and things that I would get done, where half the housewives act like they don't get any work done. And I'm like, you are so, I know your doctor. Like, it just, I don't know. It just makes me laugh.
It's true. I mean, and the thing is, right, like, whether you want to be there or not, most people are going to stay for the money, I would think, year after year. Like, you don't want to be
Yeah.
there, and then you get a certain amount more, and you're like, all right, why not?
Well, and if that's your salary, if that's your full income and you have no other income, then yeah, you need it, right? You got to get food on the table. So I understand all of that, but
I don't know why it's so hard either. So I say this on the show all the time. It's like, I call bullshit on 98% of the people who say they left. They
yeah,
didn't leave.
you're right to call bullshit on that.
So thank you for admitting that you were fired.
Just for you, David, all for you.
I appreciate it. So, and is it like the typical, you just don't get a contract? Is that how it happened for you? Like, did you
They're
know you
really
were?
Yeah, they're really nice about it though. Like, they call, and it's bittersweet for everybody, because you spend 4 years of your life there, and it's like they grow up with your kids, they see you change, so it's kind of bittersweet, I think, for on both ends. But they've got to watch out for the show in the long run, in the long run. And if they felt my story was done, I bet they wish they'd have kept me now, because they would have gotten the divorce all on it probably. But so yeah, I don't know, but it's great.
Did you get a call from Andy directly or from someone else? And today, after all of our chats with Miss Alexis Jesus Jugs Bellino, we're going to share some classic blasts from the past. What are your favorite Housewives chats of ours? We just showed you Heather Dubrow. We're about to show you a whole bunch of other little clips today that are kind of our best of. So enjoy, and hopefully you enjoyed our chat with Alexis Bellino also.
Yes, Ocean and Summer Moon are big, big stars. They are just the biggest stars of Vanderpump Rules now.
Listen, start them young, honey. Start them young.
Right, when I got her little, work thing, her work permit, I was like, holy shit, this is crazy that Ocean has a work permit already. Yeah, I think we'll see new faces. We only picked up cameras, I think, like a week and a half ago, so we're fresh into it. But and I didn't know what to expect, but it's going to be a great season. Just based off of what we filmed so far, like, shit's already hit the fan, and it's awesome.
I can't wait.
Awesome for viewers, not so awesome for us who have to face each other daily.
That's why we love Vanderpump Rules. It's one of those shows where more happens in one episode than a lot of Bravo shows in weeks and weeks and weeks. This is what we love about it. what about, like, is it hard when, you know, like, Saucy's not there, Jax is not there, like, all of that's going down? I mean, because you're your friend, but of course, like, I mean, do you feel somewhat like, you know, you don't want to get involved in that, but just really appreciative, like, you love this job and you're so good at it? Like, you must be just so happy to have a job, right? Like, it must give you, like, a different appreciation of just, it's a great show and you're part of it.
It's a great show. I'm so grateful to be a part of it. You know, it's hard when your job is also like hanging out with your best friends and then they're no longer a part of it. It changes. And you know, that was the thing I enjoyed the most was like, oh my gosh, I get to hang out with my friends and work at the same time. Which I'm not saying that the rest of the cast, they aren't my friends, they definitely are, but a piece of my friendship pie is gone, and that's really hard. You know, I don't like to judge, but I actually think that that's super offensive. You know, there are people out there who work their ass off to never take themselves out of it, you know, take themselves out of reality and never place themselves in an altered state. You know, they don't even when they have a cold take Dayquil or NyQuil. So to say that you're like California sober or this type of sober is extremely offensive, I think.
I never heard the term before until I watched
No,
this.
and I'm not looking at you like you're
Yeah,
one.
yeah, I know.
To me, I've been in rooms with men and women who have given up everything just to not pick up. So sober to me means that you are not taking yourself out of reality.
Right.
Yeah.
And California sober takes you out of reality.
It's not a real thing. You're not sober. If you're drinking or smoking weed, you're not sober. That's great. He asked me this morning, he was like, so when would you want to start trying? I said, when Ocean is like a year and a half, 2 years old, let's get popping. So you guys don't just say those things. I do feel like I look great for just having a baby. But you know, the tightness is different. And I just feel like every woman, my body is no longer mine. You know, I'm constantly putting a baby on the boob, and you just kind of feel like, you know, I could feel hotter
right now.
And it's funny because people are like, oh, Gertie's so sweet, and I am sweet. And Gertie's so, oh, she's not like, no, she's not confrontational. What? you just saw more professional Gertie this time around because naturally I was on the planning mode. But other Gertie, it's not what you think at all. I have no, like I was known. I was the girl that they used to call back in when I was in Friends to go beat up the guys who used to like make fun of other people. Like they'd be like, okay, I'm gonna call Gertie on you. Oh, I will confront you. I have no problems with that at all. Yeah.
So if someone comes for you in the future, you have no problems.
Absolutely not. But I'm nice and I'll smile and I'll tell you, you know, like, yeah, but it's gonna go down the way it goes down, but it's not, you know, it's not gonna be just me taking it laying down. No.
Right.
But I said at the reunion, I'm like, honey, you want to ring this doorbell? Ring it good, you know? So yeah, for sure.
And just ring it once, because that's all you need to do, right? Why is Adriana so obsessed with Larsa's ex-friendship with Kim Kardashian?
So obsessed with me. I want to know too. I don't understand the ongoing, and it started from day one. So if it just started out of nowhere and she was nice and all of a sudden they have a disagreement, that's one thing. But it was so calculated just from the beginning that her goal was get Larsa. And for what? Because she left and moved somewhere else to better her life, whatever she was doing. And by the way, I feel like Larsa's been with Scottie Pippen for a very long time. And I feel like people see her relationship with the Kardashians as like just one way road, like, oh, they put her on. Then if you go backwards, I guess overall in years, I'm like, if she's been with this guy for 25 years, wasn't it like kind of like a win-win? Because he already had the doors open to VIP everything. So think about it. And remember, Kim K was, you know, with Paris Hilton, she was just developing her brand. I feel like it's unfair on how people act like she was the one that was, an opportunist when I don't see it that way. I feel like it was just two girls that got it going on, got together, the whole thing. So whatever happened in LA, I'm not interested in right now because she's back in the 305 and I'm only interested in what our relationship is like, you know, to date. So you got to look at the overall picture, you know, but of course, if you're going to be friends with someone who literally is the number one, you know, social media favorite, etc., it's all about their story. You know what I mean? So it's hard. Larsa is having, I think, is going to have a hard time just kind of pulling away from that, because it's a detachment that's really hard to pull apart when everybody just sees you as Kim's best friend. And it's unfortunate because she's other things, but I just feel like, you know, she's stuck in this one thing, and she'll find her way out for sure. But right now, every question is almost like about that, and that's annoying. Like, I'm like, please, can we move on? I'm bored.